Inflation in the United States sits at a 40-year high. The 8.6% reading on the CPI is something that has surprised economists and central bankers alike. They previously thought that inflation had peaked in March because we got a down reading in April. But now all of a sudden there's been a re-acceleration and we've hit that 40-year high in inflation, causing the Federal Reserve to continue to double and triple down on their pursuit of tighter financial conditions. Now, as they raise interest rates and they begin to conduct quantitative tightening, there are many people, both pundits, economists, and central bankers, who believe that these actions will actually bring inflation down and get it into a more manageable area. But now we have Goldman Sachs coming out and saying they don't necessarily believe that's what's going to happen. There's a brand new report that's been released which says inflation may get much worse this summer and it could linger for many years. That would not be good. As we dig into exactly what their argument is, you can see here the Goldman economists said that they expect consumer prices to rise more quickly later this summer due to transportation and health insurance costs, and that will push the core inflation, which takes out food and energy, from about 6% in May to 6.3% in September. They then went on to state that health insurance and automobile prices, two of the largest contributors, that those should start to fall by the end of the year, and that could push core inflation down from 5.5% at year end and 2.4% by the end of next year. Now, of course, they're not the only ones who have thoughts here. Jeffrey Roach over at LPL Financial, their chief economist, stated that policymakers must come to grips with a real possibility that inflation rates will not come down to their preferred targets for many years. Now, at the end of the day, whether you think that inflation has peaked or you believe that it will remain persistent, that it could accelerate higher and stay around for many years, what we do know is that the Federal Reserve and other people who are in positions of influence around the economy, they're going to start to take action. Not necessarily because they should, but because we're all human. And the only way that humans feel in control is if they're doing something. And so we already have tighter financial conditions today than we did just 6 to 8 months ago. And the big question is, how much tighter can the Federal Reserve make those financial conditions? How much more expensive can they make capital with the interest rates increasing? And how much less assets on their balance sheet are they willing to withstand? Because if they continue on the path that they're on, things are going to break. We've already seen many assets draw down anywhere between 20 to 60%. And there's a lot of questions around how the average American family can continue to withstand the current economic environment. And so at some point, because of the long-term trends, the Federal Reserve will have to wave the white flag. They'll have to give up on this tighter financial conditions, and they'll return to loose monetary policy. The question, though, is how much demand can they destroy between now and then? What will be the thing that breaks that actually causes them to give up on their current mandate? And what exactly is going to be the severity and speed at which they reverse course? That Federal Reserve pivot, it will definitely happen. When it happens and how significant it is a big question in the market right now. Inflation is here. There's no denying it. Plenty of people want to debate how we got it. And even more people want to debate what we should do going from here. But what I know is that the average American family is struggling. 8.6% CPI is insane. It's not what you expect in a developed nation with the global reserve currency like the United States. But here we are. And now we're left with asking ourselves, what do we do from here?